Hey guys, thank you so much for listening if you are here with me today. My name is Dror and I am with my new podcast here at the Launchpod studios. It's really exciting. We're actually on a live airfield, so you might be able to hear some planes in the background, but bear with me. Also, if you are listening, I really appreciate all your feedback, any comments that you may have. So you can find me on LinkedIn at Dror Wayne. You can find me on Instagram at dror.w or send me an email, dw@drorwayne.com. What we're going to be speaking about on this show as we go through the different episodes will be around the theme of building businesses. And this is specifically for people who are not specialized in sales, marketing, or business development because you have something else. You are a lawyer or an architect, you are a photographer or a carpenter or a plumber. You could be a cleaner, you could just have a new idea for a product or a piece of software. So you could be, in other terms, a sole trader, a freelancer, a small business owner, SME, a startup founder. This is for you to understand the concepts behind sales, marketing, and business development because it's so key in building a business to bring in revenue. Because as I kind of always say, if you are running a business without bringing in revenue, you're not running a business, you have a hobby. So today specifically, I'm going to start off by talking about how you can put your prices up by 20%. Now, I think that many people are undervaluing and underpricing their businesses. They're scared, and it's okay to be scared. They're scared that if they put their prices up, people won't come with them. There are, of course, some people who value their businesses spot on at the right place, and there are people who are overpricing themselves. But I think many of us, SME owners, freelancers, whatever, are undervaluing our businesses. And I'm going to look at 7 ways to make 20% more on your existing customer and client base. But before we do that, we really need to understand the whole value of putting up the prices in your business. When you put up the price of your product or your service, you're taking control of the power. What do I mean by that? When you put up a price, you can put it down. You can do deals, you can do whatever you like, but you're in the ballgame. When you start with a low price, all you can cater to are the lower market, the lower spenders. If someone is looking for quality, if someone is looking to spend money, they just will not come to you. Let me give you an example. If I want to do marketing consultancy for someone, and let's say I give them an hourly rate, £120 is my kind of standard hourly rate to start off with. If they're looking at quotes around the £100 to £150 mark, I will be one of the people they consider. I can then do a deal, I can offer them extras, I can take things off, whatever. But I'm in the game. They might go with me, they might not. If my price is £60, if it's half that, they just simply will not consider me. I can't say to them, oh yeah, no, I do it 60 because I do it cheap, but I can give you a quality product, so I can also do it for you for £120. No one's gonna take double the price of your normal price. They just will not be considering you. And this goes for many businesses. But if I did it the other way round, if I'm, £120 and that's my price and I'm a quality guy and I show that I believe in what I'm delivering and I believe in my product, which is why I price it so high, if someone then comes to me and says, look, I'm starting a new business. I don't know anything. I really need someone like you. I think you have something amazing. I can't afford your prices. Here's what my budget is. Can you work with me? Then it's my choice. I don't have to say yes. I don't have to say no. I have the power of a choice, which if I start with the low price, I do not have. So before we even get into putting your prices up, the different ways you can make more money off your customer base, understand that putting your prices up, having a high value price to match a high value product, and I only really speak to people who are delivering a high value product. If you're cheap, if you cut corners, then your type of business is not the type of business that should be listening to me. If you have that product and you have that high value, you are in control, you have power. So hike your prices by 20% today. Here's how you do it. Let me give you an example. If you are a videographer and you are charging £2,500 for a wedding, this will mean charging an extra £500. So bring your total price up to £3,000. Now, if you're currently a videographer doing 50 weddings a year, that means you'd be making an extra £25,000 if all your current customers still booked. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about putting prices up for customers who have already booked, but just moving forward, I think that was fairly obvious. So you're doing 50 weddings a year. You've gone from charging £2,500 to an extra £500, bringing your price to £3,000. That's an extra 25k if all your customers still book. Now, if you put your prices up by 20% and you lose, let's say, 10% of your customers, your net gain is still 12.5K. You'll lose 10% of the work you're doing, but you'll still make another £12,500. If you lose 20% of your customers, so you've put your prices up by 20% and you've lost 20% of your customers, you're not going to make any extra money. But let's say instead of working 50 weekends a year shooting weddings, you're going to be working 40 weekends. Now you've got suddenly an extra 10 weekends, it's 20% of your time. And that's amazing because you can do whatever you like with it. You can spend it with family, you can enjoy, you can join a golf club and learn to play bridge. I really don't care. You could put it back into your business, into marketing and sales, finding more of those higher paying clients. You could put it into learning and training and making yourself better so that you can deliver more. You could put it into the clients you actually have, give them a better service, more personal attention, whatever you like. But you're making the same money in less time. And don't we all want that? I can't think of any reason you wouldn't want to make more money in less time by doing the same thing. Now, obviously, you need to run the numbers for yourself. So let me help you with that. How much do you charge for your average unit? So if you've got a product, your unit is a thing that you sell. If you're a service provider, how much you charge your average client? Let's write that number down and we'll call it A. Now look at how many units or bookings you have a year. We'll call that number B. Now, if you take A times B, the average price times the number of units, you have your current turnover. Now, if you take A times B, so your current turnover, and you times it by 1.2, you're adding 20%, and we'll call that number X. Times it by 1.08 if you lose 10% of your customers after putting your prices up. So this is a very simple way of looking at it. Looking at how much you'll make, how much more you'll make if you put your prices up by 20%. And then you can look at if I lose 10% of my customers, if I lose 20%, if I lose 30%, and you can decide what is worth it. But I don't actually think it's likely that you put up 20% of you put up your prices by 20% and you lose 20% of your customers. Because I think if you know how to deliver value to a product and you know how to sell to the client, you will still get most of those clients. You will push, by putting your prices up by 20%, you will push some of your solid current clients into the gray zone, into the zone where they're considering and might not book. But when people are negotiating or price, when they say that the decision not to buy or to buy was based on the price you have compared to another price or the price that you have full stop, not compared to anything else, it generally comes into one of two categories. The first category would be people who genuinely cannot afford your price. They have a salary of X, 50% of that goes on their rent, 70% of the next 20% bringing you to 70% is on their food and expenses. And, your price comes up to 40%. They just do not have the finances for your product. Now, those are the people, yes, you might lose or you might have to discount down for. And we're going to come on to discounting and, when to use it later. But as we said earlier, you have that power to discount for them. The rest of the people can do it. They just don't want to. And the reason they don't want to is either because they don't trust you enough, they don't see the value in you enough, they don't really want your product enough, which means either you failed in the sale, in presenting the product from a logical side, or maybe you failed in the emotional side, in bringing them in and making them really love the idea of spending their money on your product or service. So if you put your price up by 20%, you can keep your clients as long as they love your product, as long as they love your service. They need to trust you, they need to value you, and there are plenty of books and podcasts, and I will also come in future episodes, hopefully, to speak about how you can increase your sales, increase your marketing, and improve that. But don't think that by putting up your prices, you're going to lose all your clients. That's the first thing. Now, if you're brave, what you can do is run an A/B test. Over your next, let's say, 50 inquiries, 25 of them, you're going to send your old price, and 25 of them, you're going to send your new price. Do it even better. Do it with 100, do it with 200. 50% of your people, you go your old prices. 50% of the people, you give your new price. You keep everything else the same. If you've got your prices on a website, you can create landing pages. You can use something like Unsplash or Google Optimize. You keep exactly identical design. You just change the numbers. And 50% of people will be diverted to one page. 50% of the people are diverted to another page. And we'll see how many of them convert, how many of them book at the old price, and how many at the new price. And we'll understand the difference in the conversion rate, the difference in how many of the people who come in go out as buyers. And you have a statistic, not a guess, with which you can make your decision. So that's the first thing. Putting up your prices by 20% straight is one way to make a lot more money. But we can also look at how else you can charge your existing customers more fairly. Now, The first way, the other way to add an extra without putting your price up is upselling. What is upselling? Bear with me. Upselling is when you take your existing buying audience and capitalize on it by adding on extra products they pay more for. So have you ever received an email from your airline who you've booked a flight with offering car hire at the destination? That is upselling. Maybe they're doing it via commission with another company. Maybe it's their own thing. Maybe it's, when you're on the plane and they're selling you duty-free products, they're selling you food and drink. I just flew in last night. EasyJet, they did not stop with the trolleys. First the drinks trolley, then the food trolley, then a trolley with perfumes and alcohol, non-stop, and they made announcements. They were taking the audience they have and charging more. They did it with luggage. They offered me insurance, they offer me car hire, hotels, because they've got me there. You've got clients. If they booked with you, it means they trust you, they like you. You can offer them something extra. And what does it cost you? Take the example of EasyJet as a perfect thing. It takes one extra automated email. I love automation because if you're doing this by hand and if you're doing this manually, it will take you a lot of time and a lot of effort. But if you're using something like MailChimp or a CRM, which allows automated email scheduled notifications, you write the email once and you schedule it to go out at the right time in the sequence to your clients. Let's take an example. You are a wedding band, okay? You've got a standard 5, 8, and 12-piece lineup, and Bill and Katie, who are getting married in 18 months, have gone for the 5-piece lineup at $3,500. I don't actually know wedding band prices. I don't know if that's like anything relevant, but let's say 5-piece band are going for $3,500. And that's what they've chosen. They're not going to spend on the 8. They're not going to spend on the 12. Their 5-piece band has a singer, keys, drums, guitar, and saxophone, which is enough for a great party. They considered the 8-piece for the $4,500, adding the violin, bass, and second singer, but they decided it was enough. Now, remember, you've got a year and a half between their booking and their wedding. So, a year after your booking, 6 months before the wedding, you send an email, or you've automated an email, so it just goes out to Bill and Katie with an email introducing Jamie, your new violinist. It includes a photo of Jamie looking fabulous and a few facts to make Jamie stand out. You include a video of him at a recent event, ideally the same sort of thing, a wedding, let's say, standing on the table. He's surrounded by the crowd going crazy, playing a song that Katie loves with a special touch of, you can automate things there. And you end it off with, "We're so pleased to have Jamie on the team. If you'd like to add a violin to your lineup, it's just £500. So what you've done is you've originally offered them the packages and you've not encouraged them in the beginning to go nitpicky. But once they bought a little bit later, you've offered them an extra. You've offered yourself the chance to get that £500. Now, how long would it take you? Let's say it takes you 30 minutes to write the email, 3 minutes to send it to each bride at the right time, multiplied by 50 brides, that's 50 hours in 1 year. Now, if you're paying Jamie £300 a gig, and of your 50 brides, 5 book Jamie because of your email, that's only 10% conversion rate. It's not bad. 5 people replying to an email you sent to 50 is pretty good. You've taken home an extra £1,000 for 3 hours work. So in marketing terms, your CPA, your cost per acquisition, is 36 minutes and £0 for £200 coming in. It's not bad. Now, if you automate that email, so you've once written it for 30 minutes and your system sends it out to every couple 6 months before their wedding date, you cut from that 150 minutes on sending emails to a maximum of 10 on the automation. You went from 3 hours, 40 minutes for that same £1,000. Sorry, went from 3 hours to 40 minutes for that same £1,000. That's 8 minutes you spent on getting 5 extra sales worth £200 to you each. Easy way. It's not illegitimate. There's nothing wrong with it. You've got an audience. Use them. Sell them extra things. And this also applies if you've got a one-time product. You're selling cakes. I don't know. You're a cake maker and you've got someone who came for a birthday cake. Set up an email sequence, have them on a list or a message sequence, and send them an email before Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. You know when their birthday is. A month before their next birthday, send them an email and say, "Hey, do you want a cake?" You've got your audience. Continue capitalizing on them. Next thing is offering bigger packages and using non-linear pricing. This is 2 things in one, so let's dive straight into it. So pay attention, I've combined 2 plays into one here. We used to have at Magniv, one of my companies, 3 packages. Most people went for the middle package. So we added a 4th, more expensive package, and more people went on to book our 3rd package. Now, what was the difference to us? It was adding 1 block on the CMS, on our content management system, so it appeared on the website. It took about 38 seconds. Now, let me explain how we worked it. If you have multiple packages that increase in linear fashion, so you've got, let's say, what we had, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and 6 hours, first make the smallest package more expensive. So start with, let's say, 3.5K, 4K, 5K, 6K. That first package of 3 hours is 500 more than, and it doesn't go with the linear fashion that the rest of them go. Why this is fair and it seems normal, because you've got to cover base costs. And, once you start increasing the packages, you're already delivering more, your base costs are covered. So it's okay to do it. And it will push people from your smallest package up and increase the value of the small packages to you. So the profitability is higher, but more people will go from that 3.5K to the 4K because it's just 500 extra. So we've pushed people up from the bottom package, and then you can do what we did. You add another package on the top. So you've got your 5K as the biggest package, add a 6K, and it makes your 5K look smaller, and it will drive people from the 4K to the 5K because they don't necessarily want to go for the biggest. It seems extravagant. So by having something on top there, it normalizes your existing packages, even if you don't really plan on selling it much. Next thing, humans are weird, okay? Now, if you want the proof and the science behind this, check out the book Priceless, The Hidden Psychology of Value. You can get it on Amazon. I don't have an affiliate link. But it's a really good book that uses behavioral decision theory, try saying that when you're drunk, to explain how we perceive value and businesses set prices. So anyway, we're going to run your own A/B test on prices. We spoke about A/B testing before. You set the same price, different prices for the same product. You deliver it to half the customers and see which one goes better. Test it on using prices that end in 9, 9.5, 7.9, and similar denominations of just under. Now, you've definitely seen this before. You've definitely been offered something for £997.95 or £495 instead of £500. And you probably think this doesn't work on people. Studies show, this book shows, and your own A/B tests can show it works. So instead of £2,000, see if charging £1,995 makes a difference. If it does, I think you cut your losses on the £5 on your 2K package to increase your sales that bit more. You probably think you're too smart as a buyer to fall for the trick, but it just works. Somewhere deep down in our subconscious, we register the lower number, and it just becomes that little bit easier to buy. And you can also use this together with what I mentioned before, your package variations and non-linear pricing. So try changing one of your package to 4,959 and leaving the lower package at 4,000. So, sorry, you've got a package at 4,000 and the next one you're going to decrease slightly, because then you suddenly put them in the same bracket. They're both in 4,000 instead of one being 4,000 and one being 5,000. It makes that jump seem smaller, and it might help you. It won't work for every business, but it might work for yours. Give it a shot, test it out, and as I said earlier, let me know if it works for you by sending me a DM or an email or a LinkedIn. So next, I want you to discount only at the top. So if you're offering a discount, though, as I'll explain in a second, I think there's a better alternative to discounting. Offer it only on your biggest packages. So if you know for you, September is a low period of bookings and you want to get ahead of the game with 10% off, make it 10% off on your 6K package only. On your top tiers only. It's just like when you get that voucher for a supermarket. You know, they offer you £15 off when you spend £90, excluding alcohol and expensive things. So you feel like you're getting this £15 off, but you're going to spend high to get your offer. Or you spend lower and you don't get to claim the offer. It's like, either way, you've changed supermarket. You've gone to that supermarket for that weekly shop. Maybe it's a one-off. Maybe you come back there because you like it, but they've got you in on a high spend offer. Don't think this is very complicated. I don't think there's anything more for me to say on it. If you've got multiple packages and multiple things you can sell, offer discounts, fine, but only on the top. Now I'm going to tell you not to discount. And instead of discounting, what I want you to do is to add value, okay? Better than discounting, adding value. It's almost turned into a cliche. Loads of people are saying it. You've definitely heard it before. Discounting sends a message that you don't believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? You know, I was recently doing a series of posts on Instagram of businesses like dating things, and it's just like that. You walk into a date and you're underconfident. No one's going to be like, you know, if you can't sell yourself, if you don't show that you trust yourself, the other person's not going to be interested. And this is the same in business. You've got to show that you believe in your product, that you believe you are high value, you are worth the money. And I'll be completely honest, if you sell someone, you know, my product is £100, I'm going to give it to you for £90. What you're saying is, I don't trust myself, because what difference is £10? £10 is, in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. So all you're doing whilst the discount can help you make a sale, is saying, I am not worth the prices I set. I doubt myself. You should doubt me also. And you should not just doubt me when I give you £90. You should just doubt me overall. You should think of going to someone else. Instead of discounting, adding value. You want to make your customer feel good. You want to make them feel like they're getting a special deal. You want to add value because it doesn't damage you and it costs you less. You're going to find an upsell, like Jamie, who I mentioned before when we were talking about the upselling the violinist on the extra band. You want to find something that costs you as little as possible to deliver, maybe something reusable, which you have in stock. And you want to offer it ideally only on your higher packages, as we said before, as a special offer when you want to close that deal. You're going to give your customers that nice feeling. You know, I sometimes say to people, we'll give you an extra hour free. Or, you know, I'll charge you for this. I won't charge you for that. I'm adding something on. I'm not saying it's worth less. I'm saying here's a gift. Do you guys get that? I'm not sure if it totally made sense. Do leave a comment. Let me know what you think about that. So in summary, how this all applies to you. I originally wrote an article on this, which you kind of might be able to tell. It was for wedding and event suppliers, as you probably noticed from all my examples. But the core ideas remain the same for any business, whether it's B2B, business to business, or B2C, business to consumer. Run the numbers, see if you can add 20% to your prices, use A/B tests if you need to, capitalize on your audience by upselling, automate it if you can, offer bigger packages to make the expensive packages seem cheaper, use non-linear pricing, changing the prices so they don't increase in a linear fashion to drive customers away from your smaller package and to your bigger packages. Play on the 0.975 and all those sorts of numbers. If you're offering discounts, put them on your top packages only, but where possible, add value, don't discount, and remember the importance of believing in yourself. Thank you very much. Once again, leave the comments down below if you're on social. If you are with me on LinkedIn, you're also welcome to send me a message, tag me in your posts. Send me an email, dw@drorwayne.com. Follow me on Instagram and let's hear what you have to say. My name is Dror Wayne. I'm a sales, marketing and business development strategist. Thank you for listening.